Hi everyone, my name is Alan Finn and I'm a coach for Value Heavy Coaching and going to record a video today of three tables of 16 and L. Um, Decided that I'm going to try and do these videos every 2 weeks to be uploaded onto YouTube. Just playing a varied of the lower stakes, whether that's 5 and L, 10 and L, 16, 25 and all that. So yeah, without further ado, um, we will jump into it. I decided not to put my hood on it this time because of how detailed it is and how it may disrupt how nice it might look in the recordings. Um, so yeah, we'll jump into this anyways, and we'll get the ball rolling. Probably going to do around 30 minutes, I think. Ace 9 here is just going to be pure defend. Jack 2 is going to be a fold. Just primarily going to be check calling here with this Ace 9. Ace Jack here on an 8. We are going to 3-bet this time. Just going to be check calling here with the ace 9. Probably check call and turn as well, not blocking any of the straight draws. Going to go for a value bet here of small. Obviously going to have some king X as well, but I don't really want to check here and let him value bet, so I'm kind of naming the price myself in this spot. Can still get value from worse hands as well, but just a very easy fall now after that. Um, yeah, just kind of restricts him to raising like a king X there. So we're kind of naming the price, and obviously, yeah, the guys in these stakes are just not going to be finding enough bluff raises there. Three is going to be an open here. Queen six, we're going to be folding. Um, Need to change this table, I think. So it's going to start with a half pot here on this flop. And going to go for an overbet on the turn. Seems reasonable. I'm not sure if we want to go for 125, 150. Either or is going to be fine. Targeting ace X here. We're going to be bet folding this river with the threes. It's not the cleanest one, obviously, but yeah, we still got a bet for value, get value from ace, just ace X in general, and just going to be folding versus a raise. Uh, yeah, pretty much that. Uh, yeah, he's going to have a lot of ace X here. If he has some 7, 8 or hearts, then it's just, yeah, he's never going to find enough bluffs here on this river. So, as I said, we still have to bet for value, and that's exactly what happens. Can't really go too polar either way, and yeah, I get the call from ace jack, which is basically the range we're going to be targeting. So here with the ace king, we're going to go for a check in this flop, and now once he checks back, we're just going to start betting. Two thirds seems fine, and get the fold. I mean, this is not ideal, Jack 10, but such a good price and a fish in the hand, so I think we're just going to flick it in. It's going to mark this guy as a short stacker. Easy fold. So yeah, this guy is obviously a weaker player. Just going to go for a 3-bet here. Not really concerned over Anton here, and I'm going to start with a half pot on this flop. Very good board for our range in general. He's snap called as well, which is kind of interesting, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. Just going to be betting this size and with range, and a very easy call. Yeah, I mean, pretty fishy move by him, but whatever. Good turn. Ace king in this spot. We are just going to go for a 1/3 here. Probably do a lot of over betting on turn, even on that turn. So you get value from queen jack, or sorry, jack 10, queen 10, king jack. Probably might call one as well. So we're going to go for a 125 on this turn and just bet 2/3 on the river. Not ideal when he min raises here, but I don't think I'm going to be folding versus the fish. So yeah, just going to be more or less calling this down here. Yeah, seems fair. We're just not going to fold. If he has it, he has it. Just whatever. Not folding versus the fish in that spot. Going to limp in here with the king 8. We'll potentially start folding weaker, just like one pair like of aces there, you know. But yeah, in that spot, just not going to be folding there. Anyways, just bite the bullet and just accept it for what it is. 4-3 here is just going to be a fold. It's going to be folding here with the king 8 also. King 6 is going to be a fold, I believe. 9-4 even versus the min open. Just going to mark this guy as well. Ace 4 here and a 4. We're going to 3-bet. Ace 8 here on an 11. We're going to 3-bet. against under the gun. Ace 5 here, we're going to check bar 5 fold. Jack 6 going to fold. Fold. Mark this guy as a passive fish for limp and pre. Checking. We're going to open this 6-8 as well with a fish in the blind. King 5 we're going to fold. I'm just going to fold versus this. 6-8 in this spot still doesn't play that well. I mean, can maybe justify calling here. I actually don't mind calling with a fish in the hand, but yeah, it's definitely on the wider side. Probably going to be mostly a fold, but yeah, given there's a fish in the hand, we kind of just want to flick it in there. It's not the worst hand against some of the ranges there. King 10 just going to be a fold here. Mark this guy as a short stacker. I don't mind actually flicking this in here with the fish in the big blind as well. And this hand plays well when there's a fish involved in the hand. Can definitely open or expand our calling range there in the spot with a fish when he cold calls in the cutoff. Now we just a very easy call here. And again, a very easy call on the turn. The fact he's betting into two pairs like this isn't ideal, so he's going to have at least King X here for the most part. When he checks here, I guess we check back here and bluff catch, but again, he's going to be checking a lot on this turn. So I'm just going to realize my equity here and check back. And I don't think he's ever betting. He could bet some 7-8 here definitely on the flop. But obviously we're never folding here against the bet. Yeah, I mean 2 turns here is probably reasonable. Could even bet smaller. But yeah, definitely want to just check back that turn there because we're still ahead of some maybe ace queen he decided to bet the flop there with. And absolutely just no reason to turn our hand into. We're not really betting for value at any point there, basically. Just want to realize our equity and just check back. Totally fine. He's going to be checking a lot on that turn anyways. So yeah, his range is like pretty. It's not, you know, that weak basically. 6-5 versus this size, and we can probably call. I think seems okay. Gonna check back this queen 8 here now, I believe. Once he check calls. Don't mind betting 3 times with this hand. I think we can get a lot of folds by turns of rivers. Gonna check this back here. Maybe bluff this river now. We definitely have more 10x than he does. I'm just gonna try and bluff this now on the river. I mean, we can't really win much here, but whatever. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a lot more 10x than he does here. So yeah, I think we're just gonna get a lot of folds in that turn there if we double barrel. Seems okay. Queen Jack's gonna be an open. Ace King just gonna be primarily check calling here, I think. Don't need to bet at all. If bet's quite big here, probably gonna fold, but we'll see what happens. Gonna mark on this guy as well. Queen Jack's gonna be a fold. Definitely just check calling here. Don't think we need to check raise. He's just he could definitely just be protection betting here with basically any pair on this board. If he checks back this turn, I think we're gonna bluff river though. Very easy fold versus that sizing. Uh, 8-9, we're not going to open here. Ace Jack, we will be 3-betting against this fish. Don't need to make it that big. 6.75 is whatever. That converts to 16 and I'm not quite sure. $1. And probably just going to go for a half pot here, I think. Seems reasonable. Yeah, just looking for falls on the flop. Can double barrel on diamonds. Well, triple barrel off on a diamond, given we have the ace of diamonds there. Jack 10 is just going to be a call this time. Check calling flop also. Mark on this guy here as well. Again, just primarily just check calling on this board. We don't really have much check raises on this board because he, has basically all the nutted hands here. Just going to start with a call. If he checks back this turn, we're going to bluff river, obviously. We have a lot of King X here when we just check call, but he does as well at some frequency. But yeah, we obviously have to bluff this river and just hope for folds. And yeah, he's probably going to call ace X here, but yeah, we're going quite polar here with this hand, so we just want to try and represent king X there. But yeah, at the same time, he's just going to be checking back turn there with whatever range and just see betting that sizing on the flop, which probably majority of his range. Ace Jack here just going to be primarily a call, and we're going to be calling flop. No need to bet here at all. We're still ahead of a lot of ace highs, king highs, stuff like that. Um, Open this 10-8 here. It's not a full frequency open. Again, just going to be checking back here, taking our showdown here, and just going to be calling all rivers, even on an 8. If you hit an 8, hit an 8. And just very easy check down here. And he just doesn't bluff 5-9, so we'll be marking that guy as a weak player, passive. Probably a nit reg. I'd put that down to. 10-8 here, we're just going to start with a 1/3. On this turn, I guess we're going to check back and again try and bluff some rivers. Pretty interesting river, actually. And yeah, again, we're just going to try and bluff here, get some folds from 5x, 3x, ace 5, ace 3, stuff like that. See what happens. Ace 6 is going to be a fold, I think, versus this sizing. And 5s are going to open. I'm going to call this versus the min raise pretty happily. I mean, can't really fold now, can we? Bit of a weird dynamic here, but yeah. I mean, maybe we can actually fold here because of the stack size. I mean, it's not ideal either way. I mean, if this guy was deeper, I actually wouldn't mind calling, but like, I mean, we probably have to call there. Yeah, I mean, it's probably a fold pre, but it's whatever either way. I mean, getting a ridiculously good price here. Don't think we're ever ahead here though. Yeah, ace jack, well, that's just a weird one. Yeah, it's whatever. It's whatever. Don't think we can fold there pre, but like we're not really getting that much implied odds against the guy who's sitting there with 50 BBs, like, so it's just whatever. Like, can probably just fold that pre-flop and not really be too concerned over it. Ace king, we're going to three bet ace 9 with the fish in the hand. I don't mind defending here. Get a call from this guy. I think this is the guy from the previous hand, actually. Um, but we're obviously not going anywhere. Again, we're just going to call. Actually, on this board, I don't mind just getting it in, actually. If the board's a little bit more drier, we can probably call and just let him, like, bluff it off. But in this spot, where it's kind of a little bit more dynamic, I don't mind just getting it in on the flop, basically. It's going to be whatever, either way. King 2, we're going to fold, and fold the 3-8. Fives here, we're going to fold. Queen 2, we're going to fold. King 7, we are going to fold. King 10 is going to be a 3-bet here. We're still going to be folding this because this hand in general just doesn't play well against any 3-bet range at all. So yeah, we're getting good odds there, but it doesn't really matter in that spot. Probably just better off to fold there and not get yourself into a tricky situation post-flop against two weird ranges or whatever way you want to classify them. Just yeah, against that button 3-bet range, it's just not going to be, ace 10 is not going to be good against that at all. And I'd rather avoid the scenario just like getting into a weird spot post. Eights in this spot, I think we can actually squeeze here on a 5. I kind of like that, but you know, there's a fish in the hand as well, but I think squeezing here is going to be fine as well. We get a call, and we're just going to be betting half pot on this flop. Seems reasonable. I'm probably not going to fold versus this guy at all. And yeah, I just get the fold on the flop. Again, it's just a good board for our range there that I was just picking that sizing with basically everything. I'm just not going to fold against the fish as well. If you just like start a raise and flop there, just never folding. King Queen's going to be an open. I'm going to start with a half pot here. Queen, ace queen we're going to raise here. King queen we're going to check on this flop, and we're just going to bet two thirds here with this hand in this spot. Just going to go for a 1/3 here and go for a check call here. And we're going to check on this turn with the ace queen. And again, we're just going to bet this river, try and get a fold from 10x if he's going to go down that route. But yeah, ace queen, we're just going to check call here again and let him maybe bluff river if he's going to go for it. And he does, so we're going to raise to like 30 here, I think is reasonable. Guy is just primarily bluffing here, or maybe like thinly value betting ace x here, but yes, whatever. I think he's just bluffing here a lot. And you get the fold anyways, but yeah, primarily he's just going to be bluffing there, given we have so much of it locked up. But yeah, his sizing as well is not really one that's going to be value for the most part, if ever. So it's kind of what is, but we got more value by checking the turn there and letting him do his thing. Sevens, we're going to bet this as well. Ace 8, we're going to fold. A10 we're going to fold this, or ace 10 we're going to fold this time. Three betting at like 70-80% of the time, I think. But yeah, 85 there. We're gonna fold this time against the button open in the small blind. Ace king is just going to be a very easy three bet. Queen 7 as well, pretty easy fold. Just going to limp in here with the king 9. Don't think it's a bit on the wider side to ISO, I think. King 9 suited, no problem, but king 9 off just going to cold call in the small blind seems fine. Queen 6 we're going to fold. Fold the 9-7. 6-2 off, we're going to fold, and here we're going to fold with the king 9. Mark this guy here. Mark this guy also. Tens just going to open here. I mean, this is probably going to be a mix between 4-bet and a call, and then a 32 against this player. I'm not really too sure who he is. He's going to call this time, I think, and obviously check call this flop. Can actually start donking this flop sometimes, but yeah, we'll see what happens here. So he fixes size in here. I think I'm going to go for a check raise here for protection. Yeah, seems reasonable. This ace jack, what, 9, 18, 27. Gonna go for a half pot here. I think we're gonna defend this. But on these stakes we need to be careful here. And I think ace jack, ace queen suited seems to be okay to defend in these spots. I'm just gonna fold the queen jack here. So he checks here. I guess we check this back. And potentially start bluffing turns. Now we're in a tricky spot here. We're just gonna check fold the tens here. So check raising the flop there for protection. But once he calls, I mean this is dicey here now with ace jack. Primarily ace king is going to be part of his range here. I mean, we're going to call one here and see what happens on the river. If he goes all in, I think we're going to fold. I think we're going to fold. But like we could even start folding that on the turn if I'm being honest, which is going to find the fold here in this spot. It's really close on the turn there. If we like literally isolate that range like ace king, which is primarily going to play it that way, then we probably just start folding turn. But yeah, it's whatever. Three betting the ace four suited here, folding ace five. Just going to start with a half pot here on this flop. Check fold and turn now. Um, I don't think we're going to get many folds here. As tempting as it is to bluff. As tempting as it is to bluff. Yeah, that's the range I'm thinking that he's going to have primarily there, and I don't think that's ever folded in river. So I think we just got to give up in that spot. Queen Jack here, we're going to go for a check, and we are going to go for a check here again on the turn, and just basically call turn and river here in this spot. If he has a king, he has a king. Mark this guy here. Eights, we're just going to call this time. Check, call, flop, potentially check raise. See what the sizing is. You can want to check raise here for protection. So I don't mind making this 5 here. As I said, just for protection primarily. Definitely going to be raising these threes if this guy bets. Very good board for his range. So not blocking any of that top of the range in this spot is going to be good. So hopefully he bets, and he bets quite big. Just going to go for 3x sizing here. Not really be too concerned here. Don't think these guys are gonna. Well, that's unfortunate, but whatever. His sizing is weird, but he just like bets that size and it folds. King 9, we're just gonna open. We're gonna 3-bet this, I believe. And pretty good flop. Shouldn't have that much 7x here. Shouldn't have ace king, so pretty happy just to bet 1/3 here. Pretty much a blank turn. Yeah, just gonna bet 2/3 here again. It's gonna bet 2/3, and we are going to bet small on this flop. And check back. Gonna call here obviously, and just beat ace jack. Chop the first one. We take the second one, whatever. Gonna check back the king 9 here, and gonna bluff river if the guy checks. And he doesn't, so we're just gonna give up. Queen 5, we're not gonna defend even versus min open. King 2 is gonna be a fold. Fold 2s. King 4, I think it's more in the MP position. I'm flicking this, and we are gonna call here also. Primarily just check fold this flop against any bet size, I think, unless someone like min bets. Ace 4, we're gonna check. Gonna check fold. Again, just checking here and just fold versus that side. It's gonna open the 6-7 here. Queen 10 here. I mean, on a 10, it's just a low roll, and it's going to be 3-betting sometimes. Again, it's not ideal, but I don't mind doing it on this flop. Go for a 1/3 here, I think is reasonable. You can bet half pot as well. Both are pretty fine. I guess we just fold here without a heart. Just whatever. It's a low frequency 3-bet that Queen 10 after. Probably not the best hand to do that with in regards to the stack size if we are a little bit deeper, but yeah, it's just, again, I don't really mind. My post flop edge, I'm pretty confident in it, so don't really mind what happens. Jack, we're just going to check. Fold the 4-3, and I think with 10-2, I mean, against the fish, we're just going to call actually on a 50 BB stack and check fold here. And we're going to call. and fold if he bets turn. Check this back. I beat some overpairs now. I mean, I'm going to call this because of the check on the turn, but like, yeah, nice hand. I think this guy's a bit of a whale. Definitely completing here with the 10-8. We check call and flop with the backdoor hearts, 2 pair outs. Gonna have to call versus a half pot. Interesting turn. I don't think I'm going to be folding versus this guy. I think this guy's a little bit spazzy when he opens pot on the turn, or sorry, on the button in the previous hand. So I'm just going to call this down against this guy. If he has it, he has it. Yeah, again, I don't really care in this spot. Yeah, he just has king queen. Yeah, just don't give credit to those guys. Simple as. Um, they're obviously more than capable of just like blasting off there with any hand, and yeah, you just have to bite the bullet. Sometimes and accept you're going to be wrong, and sometimes you're going to be right, and yeah, just accepting variance for what it is in spots like that against player types like that. Obviously, doesn't look good there when I call and I'm wrong, but yeah, when you're right, it's you can justify it. I think Ace Jack suited. I'd probably start 3-betting here. Ace Jack off is a little bit on the uh, closer side, should I say? Ace 3 here on 95. We're probably going to fold. Queen 4 we're going to fold, and 9s we are going to be 3-bet calling. Or sorry, calling 3-bet if we get 3-bet. It's going to go for a check call in this flop. Can probably start overbetting this turn, given he can still have some ace X that he's potentially checking back on flop, so I don't mind doing that. Um, whether these guys are good enough to do that, I don't know. He shouldn't have that much 7-8 either. And again, in this scenario, we're just going to be bet folding this river. As I said, he's still going to have like ace X a lot here, but again, we're just going to be betting here for value to target that 2-pair scenario. And if he has a flush, then so be it. It would be a bit annoying. Yeah, and he finds the fold. So yeah, again, we're kind of targeting that ace X in that spot, which by the looks of it, maybe had like two or a pair plus draw in regards to straight draw. A6 is just going to be primarily a call in these positions. Very easy call. It's actually a flop you shouldn't be betting that frequently, if I'm being honest with you. It's going to go for a 1/3 here, seems reasonable, and we're going to start betting this on the turn after he checks. He's still going to have a lot of check calls in his range here, like, so yeah, I think this is more than reasonable. So he likes snap calls as well. It's not impossible for him to have ace 2 either. He's going to go very, very polar here on the river. He might get sticky here with ace king, ace queen with a spade. Um, I think 85 is reasonable here. I think 85 is reasonable there. Yeah, it's whatever. Again, I think we have to go polar there with that spot with the nuts. Not sure what bluffs we have there, but yeah, definitely want to be betting big either way. I think like betting under pot is maybe a better chance of getting called there versus an overbet, but I could be wrong in saying that as well. I don't think we have many bluffs there either way. Just a matter if the player is good enough to find a fold there with ace king, ace queen with a spade. Um, 6-3 we're going to fold here. King 9 we're going to 3-bet in this spot on whatever roll. It was a low enough roll anyways. I think it's fine in this spot. Get a call here, and not really sure on sizing here. It's like half pot could be decent here as well. Either or is fine. I think 1/3 is decent also. King 8 we will open. We get the folds. That's nice. Just going to go for a check here with the King 8. And again, I'm probably going to check here as well. I don't really like bluffing this turn. You can definitely check back some worse ace X. Do I want to bluff this river? I think it's reasonable. Get some folds from sevens, eights, nines, which might play it this way. I don't think we've that much showdown value. I'm he's going to call that all day, so it's whatever. But yeah, I don't think we've that much showdown value there in that spot. And we want to maybe target that range, as I mentioned, the fold, the sevens through eights, nines. Makes sense. And very easy three bet here with the ace king. We'll be getting it in also, without question. And guy just cold calls. I mean, this jack four off here, I'm just still going to fold versus this. I'm trying to think, is this a good board for us to start betting here after he cold calls? I think I'm going to start with a check here. I think I'm going to start with a check here and see what he does. Okay, so he checks back. I mean, it's not impossible for him to check back like eights through jacks here for some pot control. Um, but we'll see what happens here. We're going to go for a check here again. Could start maybe bluffing ace 10 here, ace jack maybe, but ace 10 I think is pretty reasonable to start bluffing here on the turn. But yeah, just going to be folding here now in this scenario. Let's start betting this jack 8 now. And I don't really like following through here when the board pairs. Just generates less fold equity, if I'm being honest. So I'm just going to be check folding here. And yeah, that's the only hand he can really start folding that river, but it's whatever either way. Just less fold equity for the most part when boards pair like that. Ace jack, we're going to open. I'm going to sit out next big blind as well. Just finishing on the 30-minute mark, I think is more than good enough. Going to fold versus the pot size bet. 9-10, we're going to open. Queen jack, we're going to open. Sevens, we're going to open. And see what this guy is doing. Not a lot. Going to go for a half pot here. Going to go for a check raise here with the queen, king, queen here, I think. I still think there's a bit of value to be had here. I could be wrong in saying that, but I still think we need some protection. I'll start betting this turn now. It's very easy check back here on the river. And yeah, still get value from threes, which is nice. Yeah, seems okay. Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed that video. Made a little bit over a buy-in, 20 bucks to be exact. So yeah, be great to hear your feedback on how you think I've done in the comments below. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Chat soon.